Hello and welcome to Nothing in Common, the podcast with me, Lane.
And me, Bella.
Where we discuss life and love.
And happiness, the pursuit of it.
Welcome to Nothing in Common, the podcast where we don't know what we're doing. Okay, so I was going to start with a question for us. What are we doing? Why are we doing a podcast? What is this? Who am I?
Well, Lane and I are two best friends.
We're two best friends. We could talk about the name first, actually.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think so. We're just doing a podcast for fun.
And there's no plot to it. There's nothing specific that we're doing. We just wanted to yap at you because we know people will listen because we posted on Instagram and you guys were like, "Yes, we'll listen."
And so here we are. But the name of the podcast.
The name of the podcast comes from my lovely grandmother.
We love you.
We love you, Mama. Hi. We're in her house right now. But she said something funny one time after I had spent some time hanging out with another friend, and then she basically was like, "Oh, Lane and your other friend just have so much in common. You do all these things together, and you and Bella really don't have that much in common."
And I stood there
Because
because she's kind of right. When we were in high school, we had so much in common. We did all the same activities. We were in so many of the same classes. Mm-hmm. And then we graduated and went to college, and then it's
oh,
what do we talk about? That's actually not true. We find things.
So
but
it's kind of half ironic, half true, because we do have things in common, but we don't have. This podcast is about, it's okay to not have things in common with your friends. It's okay if you are gorgeous and intelligent and beautiful and successful and your friends are different. And that's okay.
What do you mean by that, Lane?
So anyways, the next thing that I had on my note,
well, also that being said, we found ways to have things in common, aka us starting this podcast while we're home for the summer from college. So
what date are we recording this? Today is Monday, June 17th, and it will be going out on Tuesday, June 18th.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
4 p.m.
Tomorrow. My microphone is in my face.
So, we've been talking about doing this podcast for probably a month now, since Lane got home from school.
And also, jokingly, we've talked about doing a podcast forever, because we're like every other bitch that's oh, we should do a podcast. We're so funny. We should do a podcast.
We have so many moments where that would be a viral TikTok sound. We are the funniest people we know.
Exactly. Which isn't true. Or maybe it is. You decide.
You decide. But so that being said, we've been pondering our thoughts and what we're supposed to talk about for about a month now. Mm-hmm. And in return of doing that, we don't talk much. We just put it in our notes.
Yeah, we're we have this first episode is, you peaked your mic again.
I didn't.
Bella immediately gets here and she's like, "Oh, can I adjust my microphone?" and moves it up a little bit and rips the cord out of it. And then my laptop is "This USB device no longer works." And then she goes to my bathroom where I have smart light bulbs and she somehow resets them to factory settings and they're blinking on and off. So you're not allowed to touch anything anymore.
But at the end of the day, I'm also just a girl, so I don't know what he wants from me. I don't know how any of this works. Lane actually set this all up himself. See, that's something that we don't
do a behind the scenes video because here, you know what? I'm fine editing some things in. We're gonna take a quick video. Hey. Okay, so it's probably cutting to this right now, but this is our setup. We have chairs. There's our mugs with our water, our microphones. And then a key light and a webcam, and the wires are all running in between. So it's crazy.
We're pretty professional. But that being said, that's actually something that we really don't have in common, is that Lane is so tech savvy and he says things sometimes. And I'm a pretty book smart, intelligent person.
Yeah.
But when it comes to some things, it's just in one ear and out the other. And so he set this whole thing up, and I'm just kind of here for the ride, honestly. So. Mm-hmm. But that works. That's fine.
I mean, we only need one. We only need one person that knows how to work the mics.
Yeah, I can do social media, but that's kind of all I have going for me.
Because you got the login now.
Thank gosh. Oh my gosh, Lane.
It did the thing where you create an account on Instagram and it doesn't. It creates it with your other account and it doesn't let you have a separate email. So I had to add her phone number to let her log in, which was weird.
So, anyways, but that being said, I think our best way to do this is probably just to get into it.
Let's just get into it, guys. Let's just jump right into it. Also, we have ideas for segments. We probably won't do many segments today because we don't have them like pre-planned. But if you have ideas for segments, leave them in the comments below. Leave your thoughts we have an idea for one segment that's just like Q&A with comments.
Yeah,
so if you have questions that you want us to talk about on the podcast, but be warned, like, if your name is attached to it and it's a stupid ass question, we will expose you.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I had something. This episode probably will be a little bit longer because again, I've been cooking for like a month and I have a lot to talk about.
We're gonna like aim for 1 hour though. 1 hour like mostly unedited. Like I'll edit stuff like I'll bleep when I say like, oh I don't need to like
be quiet.
Because I just think that, and honestly, I just think that
Why?
Exactly. And I stand by that. I'm going to bleep it. I'm going to bleep it in post so they're not going to know what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that's... Okay. Good idea.
I got us off track. What were you saying?
I was saying that we should just jump right into the video. But before we do that, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Oh my
God, we're on Spotify and YouTube. It feels more... Some of you are like watching us right now, but if you're listening, I feel like it being on Spotify feels more... intimate. Like real.
Yeah.
Because like YouTube is like, I feel like known for like everybody posts whatever they want to on there. But I feel like on Spotify it's like you expect like polished, produced stuff.
And we're not polished, produced people.
No.
Well, I am, but... Yeah.
Okay, cut that. Yeah. No, like cut that. Look at the set. Isn't the set cute?
There's a lot going on.
The set is just really eclectic. It's just like random stuff that I had in this room and like my stuff. And we're working on it. So please leave us. It's awkward because the shelf is up here and not like here. So we're gonna like see if we can figure that out so that we have stuff behind us that is not like above where our heads are.
There's like a perfect couch just placed here, like ready for somebody to do a podcast on.
The Queen
pillow. If you're watching this on YouTube.
Queen. Oh, is it gonna be mirrored?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
I think it might be. I'll fix it in post. I'll like edit just the letters so that
just fix the letters really quick. But that being said, I have been house sitting for Lane. He actually just got back from Florida. We wanted to start this about a week ago, but our lives have just not been able to cross recently.
What happened that we were going to record on like Friday
I was going to Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
I maybe shouldn't have said the name. I was going to a place far away.
No, I feel like it's too late.
It's too late.
This is associated with our Instagrams. We're going to get stalked. We're going to get doxxed. We're going to get swatted. Imagine getting swatted during a podcast.
I'm not actually going to say that next part that I was about to say.
Don't say it. I'm scared.
But that being said, Lane and I haven't really chatted since he got back from vacation. I was watching the dogs.
The dogs. Obi, Cooper, and Josie. We'll insert a picture right here.
If you're watching, Obi, Cooper, and Josie, I love you. If
you're not watching, you can imagine a large dog, and then a small chubby dog, and then a girl.
And then a girl. She looks like a human. Yeah,
Josephina. They all look like different animals. Obi looks like a seal, like a gray seal. Cooper looks like really like a dog. Like he looks like a dog. And Josie looks like a
She's just like every other bitch.
She's just like every other dog. That's on the internet now.
Dang it.
Congratulations.
You can't even say that because Lane is such a fake RuPaul fan.
Okay.
Literally, I just got surgery, and after that surgery, I couldn't walk for months.
Oh my God, what kind of surgery did you get?
A life-changing one?
No, but like actually what kind of surgery did you get?
Well, I told people I got attacked by a bear, but really I just was born with deformities in my feet and had to get that fixed. But with that, I couldn't walk for like 3 months, and so I just watched all of RuPaul's Drag Race from the very first episode, and Lane watches like whenever he feels.
Okay, listen. Some of us don't steal other people's Paramount Plus logins.
Oh.
So like,
but didn't you get a Paramount?
I did, but I just canceled it. I had to get it for a class to like be able to watch a show for my TV class. But like I didn't have to get it, but like my show was on Paramount Plus, so like, what was I gonna say?
But it's like if you have
no, but like you like if I was to like take it. Like you're using someone's second-hand login, and then I would have to be using it third-hand.
Shout out to Zach if you're watching this.
The Paramount Plus login would be ran through, and we can't do that.
Ran through just like Zendaya and Challengers.
No.
No, I shout out to my friend Zach. He has actually been watching all of RuPaul's Drag Race with me and keeping me informed on all the lore.
We're gonna get you on as a guest.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Also, I'm thinking about, like, if we have a guest on, do we need to get another microphone?
We should get one of those, like, TikTok ones that they, like, use to interview.
I have, like, a little... Yeah, I have one.
Oh, you want one for
But it would sound so bad. Like, this is like $130 mic. This is like 90 or...
Oh, okay, so you got the nicer one. Yeah. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Because I use this for other things. This one's, like, refurbished. So it's a similar mic, but it just, like... was used before.
I feel like
this one's ran through.
Ew, don't say that to my girl. I'm not gonna touch it.
Yeah, you're not gonna touch it because you'll break it. You also keep peeking.
I know. I'm really trying not to. But that being said, also Lane just talked about how he uses his mic. Lane streams on Twitch.
Stop! I do.
So
actually.
Everybody go follow him. I love to.
It's so fun. Like literally just playing video games and yapping out loud
with your friends,
and also getting paid occasionally. Like I got a check.
You do it too for a check.
It's not that much when you're not like super big, but it's like I'm playing video games and talking. So you're gonna give me money? Like I'll take it.
Yeah, that's just one of like 300 things that we don't have in common. I love to watch Lane play video games, and I went through my little gamer era.
You don't play like anything.
No,
I went Stardew Valley.
Well,
I haven't played.
I went through my gamer era after my surgery, and I had nothing to do, and I played Stardew Valley, and I played Roblox and Minecraft, and that lasted all of 2 days.
Those are like the light games, like for like the girls.
Those
but also Fortnite is for the girls. I just like to say like. You need to play Fortnite with me because Fortnite is for the girls now.
For the night.
For the girl.
That didn't make sense.
Girls night?
For girls night.
4 girls, 1 night. Cut that.
Anyways, yeah, I don't really game, but maybe that'll be something that I get into soon, so we can actually have more things in common. But I love Stardew Valley. I love to grow my crops. If you guys play Stardew Valley, put in the comments who you always romance with. I always romance with Sam. Thank you.
Which one is Sam?
Sam's the blonde, like typical teenage boy.
I don't know. I have to play Stardew Valley, I guess, to find out.
But sometimes for fun, I'll do Haley. I love Haley.
Wow. So you just get around, huh?
Yeah, I'm just like Zendaya. I can't stop making that joke. I know that Zendaya has been in a very committed and I've also been in a very committed long relationship, but I love to talk
not
about
to
it.
Be like, oh, like as an actor, like sometimes your job is to like kiss people on screen, but like Zendaya in Challengers, Tom Holland must have been like writhing.
He probably didn't watch it.
There's no way but he was like so supportive on Instagram. I feel like he did.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was probably like shaking in his boots.
See, that's like my fear.
But also she's obsessed with him.
Which is so good.
Like she's so obsessed with. She wants him so bad.
If I ever like became an actress and was like in movies where I literally had to get laid by 17 people like in the movie, I probably would be like, maybe this one's not for you to watch, honey. Like maybe you should close your eyes.
Yeah, I feel like you can sit this one out. Like.
It's like when you have to like cover your child's eyes when there's like a naked scene in a rated R movie. That's what I would do with my... Oh, so when
you're watching rated R movies with your children?
Maybe that's just a personal experience. We grew up very differently.
That's like when... What if I expose Chelsea right now? I have a really funny story because we watched... I don't know what it
Chelsea's Lane's mom, by the way.
Chelsea's my mom. Shout out Chelsea. She's definitely listening to this right now, and we're going to get her on as a guest. Whether she likes it or not. But we watched... I don't know what it is, but it was a Christmas movie that had like a lot of swearing and like dirty jokes in it. And Caleb was there with us watching it and was like, it went like really south really fast, and we were all like dying laughing because he was like half asleep, so we couldn't tell if he was hearing all of the vulgarity. But it was love that word. He was a baby. Vulgarity.
Vulgarity. It just sounds...
I'm naming my firstborn Vulgarity.
Or like Viagra.
Garrett for short.
What if I name my firstborn daughter Viagra?
What was I?
Have you seen that trend though, where it's like, what are really pretty names?
Somebody like naming their firstborn. Their name is Garrett, but it's short for cigarette.
Or like diarrhea, and we call her Raya, whatever. Like that's pretty evil name, but it's not like
No, that would be on like official documents. Like you couldn't get away with that.
Well, that's true. My full name is Isabella, and I probably have like 2 people in my life that call me that, and one of them is my grandmother, so.
Isabella.
Your boyfriend's here.
You peeked the mic again.
I'm so sorry.
I'm going to listen back to this and the whole episode is going to be like thrown out because the audio is bad.
I'm just going to
It probably isn't actually. I don't know. We'll find out how sensitive these are.
But okay, we have sidetracked long enough. I really want to know what happened in Florida.
Okay, so I literally, here we go. I wonder if I'm going to insert, I might insert videos for this, but it might not be helpful. So I have my note. I'm going to flash it for 1 second. You're not going to see it. We have like a note of like things to talk about, and really the only thing that I have is related to this trip that I went to in Florida. So we were at
Florida. Sorry. TGPD. Taylor Swift. Florida. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
We were on Anna Maria Island in Florida, which is like this random little island that's like connected by a bunch of bridges, and I was kind of freaking out because I was like, this is going to sink, like the bridge is going to fall over and we're going to be trapped and we're going to be stranded here. But I was there for like, it was like my whole extended family on my dad's side, where we were just there for like a little time. And
plus Gabby, I got replaced.
Gabby, yeah.
I literally got replaced in the family, and I was left to fend with the dogs.
Gabby,
which
our
wasn't
girl.
Horrible.
We won't explain the Gabby lore, because Gabby's going to be probably a first guest. Okay. And Gabby has a lot of lore.
Gabby and I
But Gabby was there because she's family, basically, now.
But not me anymore. No, I got uninvited from the family trip, so.
You got replaced.
Yeah.
So.
It's fine.
Yeah. Don't even stop. So this whole trip was like a little bit like, it was a lot for me because I don't like beaches. I don't like beaches and stuff, and I don't like humidity. So
He's made for the city.
That's what Florida is beaches and humidity. That's like, it's sandy beaches. Oh, did you hear that?
Sandy beaches?
No, sandy beaches. It was like a
happens.
Okay. Cut that. I'm gonna say cut that about everything. I say that on my Twitch stream all the time. I'm like, cut that. I'm like, it's not possible.
It's like, you can. That's why. Thanks for saying the obvious, Bella.
Basically, I was already like kind of like, and also the bed that I was sleeping in at this little rental house was a twin bed, and I'm 6 foot, so that was not like my whole like bottom half of my legs was hanging off of the bed, and I was like,
how did you live at a dorm?
Because they're twin XLs.
Oh.
Twin XLs are like, I think they're the same width, but they're longer.
I was gonna say, Bella is like perfect twin bed size. Like, it just...
And my thing is, like, I don't even like a big bed. Like, I don't need like the width of a bed. As long as it's long enough for me, like a twin XL is like the perfect size because I like having more space in a room. But a twin bed is not long enough. So I was uncomfortable and I like wasn't getting enough sleep. And I think this was probably 2 nights in, maybe. But I was laying there in the middle of the night. It must have been 2 nights in because Noah, my brother, who wasn't there yet, was like, he had just flown in and he had just gotten there. So I was sort of like a little half awake. And then I heard like a is what it sounded like to me.
What?
Noise. And at first I was like, that's weird. Like, there's just like some things happening. Like, I don't know what it is and I don't really care. But then it kept happening and kept getting louder. And my first thought was like, oh my God, there's a rat in here. Like, there's a rat scampering across the floor. So that's what it sounded like to me. I was like, there's a small animal here. And as I like started to wake up more and like tune in to what was happening, I was like pretty sure like, oh, this is right at the foot of my bed now.
Oh.
So I sort of woke myself up a little bit more, leaned over the edge of the bed, and turned on my flashlight and saw this like dark spot on the floor. And I was like, oh, it's like a little like, and then I was like, oh, that's water.
Oh.
The thing that I'm hearing is dripping water. So
I thought that was a rat.
It sounded like a little.
You should get your hearing checked. Yeah.
It sounded like a little animal. I should have recorded the sound before. But also there was like a box fan on, so like I couldn't exactly hear it. My lips are getting so dry. But it sounded like a little animal and it was just water dripping. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Like it was storming outside and it's like Florida and it was pretty bad, Florida. Like super rain.
I can't be stopped. Literally, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't stop saying it.
We need to get prop glass so that I can like break a glass over your head. And you can be like, what the hell? Why'd you do that?
And then
we're gonna have to cut that.
Attempted murder, like father, like daughter.
So anyways, the water was dripping. It was dripping all over the floor. So I woke up and went into my parents' room and was like, the ceiling is leaking. Father Brian, the ceiling is leaking. Help.
Father Brian.
And my brother was still like in the shower because he had just gotten home from the airport, so he didn't know any of this was happening. And then my dad went in and was like kind of like trying to figure it out. And we put a bucket in there, so it was dripping into the bucket. And then he was like, well, this is leaking bad enough that it's like probably not gonna stop. And also it's like a leak in the roof, like that's a problem.
That is
so I moved all my stuff out of there. I started moving all my stuff out of there, and then my brother got back and was like, oh, okay, so I guess the bedroom, like, which must have been awful because he was like on like after a full travel day all the way from Montana to Florida,
and it was like late,
and then didn't even have a twin bed to sleep in. So we took the mattresses, we took all of our stuff out there, and I was in the living room on the couch. That again, the couch was smaller than a twin bed as well, so like my feet were like sticking up off the edge of the couch.
Comfy.
Yeah, it was super comfy.
You know, personally, I don't have that problem. Maybe you should shrink.
Maybe you should grow so that you know what it feels like.
Have you asked?
Maybe you should let it grow. I say let it grow.
I was going to say, have you asked Gru if you could borrow his shrink ray?
Gru?
Yeah, Gru from Despicable Me.
Oh, I was talking about the Lorax.
Well, I was talking about Gru.
What you don't know about the Lorax? Should we get the Lorax on the podcast as a guest?
Do you think you would?
No. No.
I want to date the Lorax so bad. Sorry, Carter, if you're listening. I really want to marry the Lorax. He saves the earth. And he's so good.
How did we get to that?
Let it grow. I don't know. Oh, maybe you should shrink.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
I actually like wouldn't mind it, like, cause well, okay, but how often am I actually like having to sleep on everything that is twin bed sized? It was just like all like I was feeling evil energy from this trip, sort of from the beginning, just like targeted at me specifically. But it like slowly progressed and got worse.
It's because I wasn't there, so you took my energy.
I took your negative energy. But then we got all moved out. Noah was literally on a mattress in the kitchen because that was the only like place that he could be. It was like laid out on a mattress in the kitchen, which looked ridiculous. And then I was on the couch. And then like as I was about to start actually trying to go to sleep again, I got the feeling of like, I wonder if it's still like leaking really bad. Like I wonder what I kind of want to go look and see like if it's still leaking, because it was just a drip. It was like a steady drip, drip, drip kind of leak. When it first started.
Drip, drip, drip. Don't hit me up. I thought it was.
I don't know about that. Okay. Not that I know of.
Noah.
Is that your media?
No. Keep going.
Okay. This is gonna take forever if you keep interrupting me.
I'm sorry.
So.
Why would you do that, please?
Oh, I just realized people that are only listening to this are gonna think that's so real.
Oh, guys, it was not fake.
It was real. Yeah. Why did I just get a TikTok notification on my laptop?
What?
Enough. Okay. But then I went back into the room and it was like a spout. Like it was like, and I might include a video of this because you could probably see it on the video. But it was literally like a full like spout of water, and it was coming out of the emergency like fire sprinkler things. It was pouring straight out of there.
It was storming in Florida.
It was storming
no, almost
so
couldn't
bad.
even land.
There was a crack of thunder that sounded like a nuke had gone off nearby. That it was so loud.
Okay.
And it was pouring water. It was like squirting everywhere. Ooh. And getting
Zendaya. Maybe cut that or bleep it, please, Lane.
No, I'm not gonna bleep it. I'm keeping that in.
Dang it! No. I can't stop talking. Zendaya is my media today.
Yeah, Zendaya in general.
I love her though.
People are lucky that Zendaya stuck to like acting. Like that she didn't do modeling and like continue her music career as well, because it would have been done for you all. It would have been over.
There would have been no more room for me left on this earth.
Mm-hmm. There would have been no more room left for anyone.
Yeah, let him really up. So it was spouting.
Yeah, it was like pouring water out of this leak, and I don't really know where. I did go get my dad again. And I was like, it's like way worse now, and he was like, okay, so like the whole building is gonna like fall apart, because it was just a spout of water, and then it took like multiple days, or like it took a full other day before we could get our stuff moved out, and like they would move us into another unit because one of the bedrooms was unusable because the whole thing was like falling apart and leaking.
Oh my goodness.
And also, I slept in the next morning. I actually moved into my parents' bed after they left to go to the other house. because I was exhausted because I couldn't sleep on that twin
Yeah.
bed and I had gotten woken up. And apparently, the guy that was supposed to like come fix it walked in, and I'm hearing this from my grandpa because he was there as well to like see what was happening.
Grandpa.
So the guy that was supposed to fix it walked in and went into the opposite bedroom, the one that was not the one with the leak, looked around and was like, looks good to me, I don't think there's anything wrong here, and left.
Oh my gosh. And you were just sound asleep.
And I was sound asleep, so I couldn't correct him.
And Lane cannot bother to be woken up.
I mean, I can.
Sometimes.
I'm such a light sleeper. Like, I'm such a light sleeper. It takes me so long to fall asleep. I have, like, terrible, like, sleep.
But he's so good at fake sleeping. Mm-hmm. Oh,
because I'm so tired
gosh.
From getting terrible sleep all night and no sleep that I'm just like, I'm not saying anything.
Don't even open my eyes.
I'm going to continue laying there.
Wow, that sounds...
We should do ASMR. But yeah, that was fun. Then we got moved into a different place, and it was like way nicer. But we were like pretty sure it was like a swinger place because it was like there was pineapples all over the place.
No!
And it was like something about the building was just like suspicious.
And you had Gabby there.
There was a cuck chair by the bed, like, and then me and Gabby went me.
Gabby doesn't care. That's a story for another time. But
Gabby lore.
So then they were traveling home, and
oh my god, do you wanna insert something before I continue, because I have so much more lore from this trip. Well,
yeah, actually, this is kind of going off topic. I think wait, I actually don't even know. Well, okay, this is kind of just what I was thinking about. So today I was cleaning an Airbnb. That's like, I would say my side hustle, but that's like my main source of income right now. It's just like hustle. Cleaning, yeah.
Where do you get all your money?
How did you buy your Toyota?
What year is your Toyota?
That was the question. That's an inside joke. You wouldn't understand.
Don't worry about that, y'all.
So there was this. Okay, so I was cleaning the Airbnb today.
Pause.
The Airbnb today. I don't know.
Drink water out of my podcaster mug because that's the way podcasters drink water.
I've already been drinking, so.
I needed that.
So I was cleaning the Airbnb today, and it just like, it reminded me because it was about this time last year when like this whole thing went down, and you already kind of like know this story, but I just like kind of want to talk about it because it's just crazy that this happened to me.
I don't know what you're about to say yet, but I probably will.
So last summer, and I'm like,
I did something.
No, it's still working.
No, I didn't. I didn't do anything.
Last summer, I was working, and I was like still cleaning, but I was cleaning like, and I'm fine talking about this because if she's listening, frick you. You need to think about your actions. Okay.
Keep going.
Consider the consequences of your actions.
When will you learn that your actions have? When will you learn that your actions have consequences? Do you know about that guy?
No. Oh my gosh, yes.
The like little kid who like is super into Sonic and is like complaining about like Sega like ruining the games. And he's like, when will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Never. I will never learn, personally. So I was, like, working for this girl who was my friend at the time, and I just graduated high school and just, like, wanted a little job. And keep in mind, like, when you are a cleaner for an Airbnb or, like, a residential house, like, you have the basic, like, knowledge of cleaning. Like, I feel like everybody has the basic knowledge of cleaning, but you have to be, like, trained, like, in depth, like, how this company does it and, like, you know, like, how to do it without, like, wasting time, but also like moving fast. And so like the first like week or two that I was there, I was like literally only cleaning bathrooms, which is fine. I like, honestly, there's something so satisfying about cleaning bathrooms. I like.
Well, because bathrooms are like made to be clean.
Yeah.
Like they're built with all like surfaces that are like, they know it's going to get nasty in there, so
you need to clean it. Yeah, and so it's just like rewarding and satisfying, but call me gross later.
Power Wash Simulator.
I do. I played it on Roblox.
On Roblox?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Okay.
Anyways, me and Zach played it. But so I was like only basically trained on bathrooms for this company for probably like 2 weeks, whatever. And then there was this like big, I'm not gonna like name who it was, but like there was this guy who owns a business that was like, has a bunch of houses on this lake, and they were like completely doing a remodel, and so our company started doing construction cleans for them. And then like we would all go together and like clean all day, and there was like 8 houses on this property, and they were not small, like they were big, like 2 to 3 bedroom were like the guest houses, and then the main house was crazy. But we were doing construction cleans there, and I was literally only trained for bathrooms. Okay. And then there was one day where she calls me and she's like, hey, like, I need you to go to the construction clean and, like, ask what needs to be done and then do it. And I was like, okay, perfect.
I do know this story, by the way. I just, yeah.
Yeah. And so then I was like, okay, perfect. And Lane and I had just, actually, I'll get into that in a second. But I'm, like, there and I pull up and nobody from my company is there. And I'm like, okay, so what the hell?
Wait a minute.
I'm just, like, completely by myself right now. I only clean bathrooms. But then she was like, you just need to find, and keep in mind, since this is such a big project, there's been, like, contractors flown in, designers flown in, like, there are, like, people from, like, New York working here. God. Like, it's, like, a big deal, okay? And I, like, she was like, you just need to go to a contractor and, like, ask what needs to be done. I was like, okay. And I'm like, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed because, like, there's so many people working here. I'm the only cleaner. There's a lot that needs to be done. When this company hired our company, not mine, I'm not associated with it anymore, but the company that I was working for, they hired, like, 4 to 5 cleaners every single day, like, the entire day. So then for them to send me for just, like, a couple hours one day was crazy.
Which, like, did you ever figure out why it was just you?
Because they were lazy.
And they just didn't
want to do it, and they just sent me because they were like, oh, look, a girl working for us. And I was
like,
perf, the bathroom girl. And so, like, I'm a little bit over it, and I'm stressed out, and I'm like, I've literally been working for this company for 2 weeks, and I go find a contractor, he tells me what needs to be done, the amount that he told me needs to be done. First of all, I wasn't trained on, but I was still going to do it anyways, because it's just kind of, like, basic knowledge, whatever. But second of all, I was like, that's just, like, way too much for me, little girl, to do. I'm just a little girl.
You're just a girl.
I'm just a girl. And Lane and I had previously, like, a couple days before gone to a drag brunch.
That's what you were going to say. I was like, I can't remember what was happening at the same time.
Yeah. And so it was June. It was Pride Month. And
who you are.
Be who you. That drag brunch was so fun. Can we talk about that? I want to go again. But yeah.
They probably will. It was at, like, a
little
like,
barn.
Place with the horses. What was it called? The Clydesdale place? It was like Clydesdales. So there was horses, and the horses were into the drag. Like, they weren't in drag, but they were, like, super into... No, the horses were, like... Do you ever rotate a horse in your mind?
Like, upside down?
No, like, any direction. Like, try it. Isn't that fun?
No. It really messes with my brain.
Aww.
I'm just looking at a horse bud.
Why are you rotating it that way?
I don't know. I thought that's what you meant.
No, you can rotate it, like, any direction. And, like, make it go in a circle and spin around, like, on its head, even.
Wow, that's really fun.
Try it out. Oh! We both just peaked our mics. Try it at home, if you're interested. No, but, like, the horses were, like, at the barn, because we were in, like, center of the barn and in between the stalls, and they were, like, into it. They were, like, watching the... Like, at one point, like, a drag queen, like, went up to you're the horse.
Oh.
And was like, hey.
And then it was a part of the act. But anyway, so Lane and I had just gone to this drag brunch, and I had a bunch of, like, Pride stickers in, like, my bag.
And they had them for free.
Yeah. And so I had, like, gone...
Or maybe you stole them.
No, they were free. I would never steal from a drag queen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, and so I'm opening my bag to get my AirPods out, and this Pride sticker falls out, and I'm like, oh, I'm with a bunch of, like, contractors and construction workers, and, like, that's a general stereotype, but I was just like, you know, probably should just stick to what I'm here for. And
bathroom girl.
Bathroom girl. And
I wonder if they saw it and they were like, they thought you did it on purpose. It's like oh, my Pride sticker.
Let me just pick it up.
Oh, let me just pick up my Pride sticker.
Wave my flag. Ew. Anyways, and as I'm, like, doing that, this contractor not a contractor, he was a designer, and he was flown in from New York, and he comes up to me and he goes,
concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
All things are brand new. And he walks up to me and he goes, oh my gosh, hi, my name is blank, and I don't remember what his name was, and he was like, happy Pride Month, it's such a pleasure to meet you, like, can I help you with anything? And it was just, like, my breath of fresh air, like, after being so stressed, like, not knowing what to do, like, whatever, like, I was just, you know, I was stressed out, and he came up and wished me happy Pride Month, and I was like, ugh, a fellow ally, like, gay, like, I was so happy, and that was just, like, whatever, and then he led me to, like, the room that I needed to be working on, whatever. And so then, like, a couple days later, the contractors had, like, gotten really angry at me, and they were like, we hired you guys for, like, this many people, this many days, like, I need to talk to your boss.
Which, valid for them to be angry at, your boss.
Yeah.
Because, she literally was like, I'll give you 4 and then give you the bathroom girl.
The bathroom girl. They're paying her,
and it's,
that much,
not cheap, too, because you're making bank.
I wasn't.
She's making bank.
They were laundering. Just kidding. I just used that really improperly.
Speaking of laundering.
Let me finish. And so then I'm like, okay, here's my boss, call her, whatever. The next day, my boss got her booty handed to her, and a bunch of us came to the construction clean. And I was, telling my friend at the time, who her mom is the one that owned the business. I told her, told her about the guy that came up and was like, Happy Pride Month, whatever. And this is a little bit of a trigger warning, especially for, our LGBTQIA plus audience out here.
I don't know about them.
But
they're not watching.
Literally, this girl that I used to be, best friends with looks at me and goes, do you know what I'm going to say to him if he walks up and wishes me a happy Pride Month? And I was like, what? And she was like, I'm going to be like, I have an AR-15 sitting in the back of my car and I'm not afraid to use it.
Which what? You what? You what?
I was so just floored. And I was I couldn't say anything at the time, because I was working for her. I'm not going to get into the rest because there was a lot that went into me quitting that job. But when I quit that job, I handed her the facts of just you are disgusting. That is horrible. How are you going to call yourself a Christian and talk about wanting to literally gay people?
You can say shoot.
Can I say shoot?
You need to swear more, because I swore twice on the podcast already, and you keep saying frick and booty.
Oh, that's just what I say. But yeah, she was talking about wanting to shoot
and during
people.
Pride Month as well.
During Pride Month, and I just thought about that today, and I really was fresh on my mind, and I wanted that to be aired out because that was so horrible. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. I don't like you. She viewed my story the other day, and I'm blocked by her. So she viewed my story.
You're blocked by her?
She blocked me.
You should block her back so she can't see the truth.
Well, no, she can see it. I was flying in a plane with Carter, and it was a great time.
That's true.
And her boyfriend's a yeehaw that just probably does nothing. So be jealous. Mm-hmm. Anyways, that's my story. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Don't ever put up with
AR-15s. Actually, don't. If somebody is I have an AR-15 in
you might want to run away.
Just run. It's not don't
stop, drop, and roll.
Worth it. Get out of there. That's so Montana core.
It was it really stressed me out. Yeah.
It's so pretty.
She looks so perfect.
Okay, so back to Florida stuff. So we had our trip. It was great. It was fun. I got to see the fam. Gabby was there, and Izzy was there, and the whole squad was there.
His siblings and family and everybody. How long have we been going?
We've been going for 37 minutes.
Okay.
So this is
we're good.
Yeah.
If you're still here.
We're gonna hit an hour. Yeah,
hello.
If you're still here, hi. If you're still here, thank you.
Thank you.
It really means a lot to us. We're just
we love that you support us.
From the bottom up. This is just for us.
It really
I'd
is.
also like to say we're not doing this as we're trying to be we're gonna get noticed, we're gonna get discovered, and it's literally just a reason for us to yap, and there's at least 3 other people that we know enjoy just listening to us yap to each other. So you get that in podcast form. And then if we do blow up, it's a nice side effect.
Also, in a couple of years, I'm not. In a couple of years from now, we'll be wow, look at us.
In high definition, 4K.
Caught.
Yeah. Caught
guilty.
4K.
Count 1. Guilty. Count 2. Guilty.
Okay. So,
Florida.
The next part of the trip that became evil was we woke up super early and also Anna Maria Island is an hour away from the Tampa airport. So not only did we have to wake up extra early to get to the airport, it was an hour drive to the airport on top of that. So we got to the airport and it was just me, Izzy, and Gabby because we were going home early before the rest of the family. I like that you're doing that. You're giving context.
I want them
the
to
people
know.
Who don't know. That's good. That's good.
Chelsea's our only listener, so she'll know.
It's true. She'll know. But basically, we got on our so our initial flight plan was fly from Tampa to Dallas, and then a direct from Dallas to Kalispell, which is kind of crazy, actually. That's a
thing. It happens once a week.
Which is part of the problem. But then we get on our airplane on airplane. We get on airplane.
And we fly.
Sit down and are just like waiting there in Tampa. And then all of a sudden the pilot is like, actually, and this was like, again, it's been super stormy and stuff. So the pilot was like, or no, the pilot wasn't, because there was no pilot there. They didn't have a pilot. The problem was they had the whole crew, they had the plane. They didn't have a captain to come. Like,
why didn't you call Carter?
I did, and he was like, I'm busy. Like,
and then he told you that he didn't like you.
Who dares to call me when I'm so busy?
He's busy drinking his tea and listening to the podcast by the fire with his mates.
Exactly.
Yes. Anyways, there was no captain.
No, but there was no captain. They're like, no, we're flying in the captain from Miami. And I was like, even if he leaves right now, which he wasn't able to because of a big-ass storm that was apparently in Miami. I think it was Miami.
I've seen so many videos. It was so flooded, like crazy, like waist high.
But he couldn't leave Miami, basically, and it's like a half-hour flight at least from Miami to here. Mm-hmm. So then they were like, oh, we have to deplane. And also there was this one woman who was...
There's only one woman on Earth, by the way.
There was only one woman on the flight. And that was a problem. No, but she was in front of us with her husband and her baby. Like, it wasn't like a baby. It was like probably like a 1 or 2 year old. And she started like being so mean to this flight attendant and was like tearing her apart. And she was like you could tell she was like mad at you at should I say the name of the airline? Am I gonna get
expose
canceled?
Expose them.
I'm not gonna say the name.
It was United.
Airline. It wasn't United. No, we're not going to slander United.
No.
United did lose my bag.
It was American.
It was American. Okay, you said it.
Yeah.
You said it, not me.
Cancel.
This is all alleged.
They could give us free tickets to make it up.
They're not. No, they're not going to, because they're all... Oh.
Well, after they get canceled.
Yeah, maybe they will.
I wasn't even a part of this, but I deserve one too.
American... You know who you are. She was like yelling at this flight attendant because she was like, what are we supposed to do? Like, how are we going to... Because what the problem was... Because the flight was delayed so much, we wouldn't make our connection in Dallas, and then there was no like other flights. So basically, they were like, they deboarded the plane after we had sat there for an hour, and we're like, okay, we can like get you on another flight, or you can like stick with this one, and we can try and do that or whatever. But like, if you need to make your connection, we'll have to fully rebook you. So Izzy and Gabby and I like sort of wandered around the airport trying to call these people, trying to figure out what was going on. Izzy and Gabby and I were like all beefing with each other because it was like early in the morning. We were all really like tired and angry. And Izzy, for some reason, like it just happened the way that it happened. Isabel, who is like my younger sister, she's literally like a freshman or graduate. She was a freshman in high school.
She's a sophomore.
Oh my god. I see, that's crazy because I was just thinking when you were like, oh, this was the year after we graduated high school and it was a year ago.
Yeah.
That feels weird. But yeah,
you just she's misgendered your sister.
No, I didn't. She's a girl.
She's a girl.
She's a baby.
I thought
she's
you were
like
American.
She's like this tall and this wide, and she's like...
We lose her sometimes.
Yeah. We should also talk about Target.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
She was on she just was on the phone, and she was like calling the people, like trying to like figure out what was happening. They were like lying to her and saying that they couldn't do things, and she was like, well, they said they couldn't book us with another airline even though we know there's another flight. And I was like, no, they can book you with another airline. They're supposed to book you with another airline if they can't get you to your flight. So we were just eventually like, we have to stick with this flight even though we know we're gonna miss our connection in Dallas, so we're just gonna fly to Dallas and like figure it out there. But then Izzy got us on a flight that was a different flight in Dallas, that once we got to Dallas, we would take a United flight to Seattle and then back to Kalispell. Seattle. And then get back later. But... So we got back on the plane. Also, this woman who was beefing with the flight attendant and like being really mean to her got her family kicked off of the flight.
Ooh.
And like they did like take it back. They took it back and like let her get on the flight because I think they felt bad and they could tell that she was like not.
She probably said sorry.
She also was. I don't know how to feel about her because I kind of like, she was a wheelchair user, and I know that like flight, like traveling with a wheelchair
has to be so difficult.
Thousands and thousands, more than thousands, like so much money is lost by people with disabilities every year that have to like use wheelchairs on flights because the people, like the baggage people, will just annihilate them. Mm-hmm. And then you get off the plane, or you don't get off the plane because you don't have your wheelchair to get off the plane because the baggage people destroyed it. So like, she probably hasn't had good experiences with flights in the past, but she was also, like, tearing into this flight attendant.
Who, like, it wasn't her fault.
The flight attendant can't do anything, and the flight attendant seemed nice. But anyways, she did get back on the plane, and then, there was also this woman that was so annoying and would not stop talking, and also standing up during the flight for no reason. But anyways, we make it to Dallas and miss our connection, obviously, by, like, 2 hours, because it took them that long to get us there. But when we're in Dallas, we go to United to be like, oh... Can we get on this flight? Like, because they had sent us the codes and had given it to us in, like, both the American app and the United app. When we entered the codes, like, showed our flights. It, like, showed that we had the code, we had whatever. But when we tried to get our boarding passes, like, on our phones, it was like, oh, we can't do that. You have to go see a ticketing attendant, which is like, I feel like that's normal. I feel like that happens when you get a flight rebooked. They have to print your paper ticket sometimes.
Yeah.
So we went up to the United attendant guy, and we're like, hey, can you print our tickets? And he took forever to look for it. And then eventually was like, so yeah, it says that, like, I don't remember what the exact term was, but it was like, this flight isn't ticketed or whatever. And I was like, I don't know what that means. And he was like, basically, United sent us all your information, or American sent us all your information. They, like, rebooked you. They sent us all of the ticketing information, like your names and, like, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't send us any money.
Oh,
so we can't let you on the flight because they didn't send us any money to pay for those tickets.
So then they're trying to steal from a bunch of children.
American basically rebooked us, but, like, didn't pay for the tickets for that flight. So then we missed that flight. Gabby was, like, freaking out because Gabby's knee, like, Gabby has, like, a knee issue, so it was hurting really bad because we've been sprinting around airports all day. And she was exhausted, and she has to go to speech and debate nationals.
Yeah, and so
she had to be back to, like, pack her bags and stuff.
She called me and she was like, can we just, like, FaceTime tonight, and I'll just point to what I want and you put it in the suitcase for me? And I was, like, more than willing because I was just at their house watching the dogs. And yeah, but it was kind of funny because, like, Gabby and I are on the phone, Lane's on the phone with somebody, Izzy's on the phone with somebody, like, they're all just, like, trying to figure it out.
But basically then I talked to I called and talked to this other lady who was at customer support or whatever, and she was like, yeah, like, I don't know why that happened, that's so weird. And her excuse was stupid because it was like, oh, we need at least an hour and a half to, like, clear the information fully or whatever to, like, get your stuff. Weird excuse. But our flight to Dallas was 3 hours, and we rebooked before we even got back on the plane.
Wow.
So, like, how was that less than an hour and a half and not enough time to get us our stuff? Like, they just messed up really bad.
Yeah.
And also, at that point, they basically refused to rebook us on any other flights that would leave that night. Mm-hmm. Even though we knew that there were flights that would leave that night, because there was an Alaska one, I think. But then I called my mom, and she was just like, okay, we'll we will cancel all of this and just buy you new tickets on Alaska Airlines the next day. But because of that, we were stuck in Dallas. Luckily, my grandma has an apartment in Dallas, so we went there and stayed. But the other story that I want to mention that was related to this is the
Uber?
I actually can't remember if it was on the way there or on the way back from that apartment. Mm-hmm. But we got this Uber driver who was really weird for a lot of reasons. First of all, I was like, there was three of us, so like 4 seats in the car would be taken. I was going to sit in the front seat because I feel like that's what you do if there's 4 people. You don't squeeze into the back necessarily. Yeah. But then he was like, no, don't do that. Like, no, sit in the back. Like, you have to sit in the back, and had his seat pulled all the way forward and like the seat belt across it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we get in the back. Gabby's in the middle. And then Gabby's like, oh, where's my seatbelt? And he was like, oh, no, there isn't a seatbelt in the middle seatbelt. Oh. So then Gabby did not have a seatbelt. So we were just like, oh, okay, that's great. And then Gabby was just sitting there without a seatbelt, squeezed in the back. Like, there was 3 of us squeezed in the back of this guy's tiny-ass car. And then the whole Uber drive back to the airport, which was like 30 minutes from where the apartment is in Dallas to where the airport is at, like, Dallas-Fort Worth. He blasted, like, worship music and was singing along to it. Oh, and he had a gun! He had, like, a gun and a badge. So, like, he literally had, like, I looked as he was closing the door for Izzy on the left side of the car, and I was on the right. I was like, I saw like a flash of like metal, and I was like, what is that? And I looked over, and he had a badge and a gun. So he must have been like private security for someone, but like, why are you carrying your gun around as an Uber driver?
Because you were in Texas.
Exactly. So I was like, this guy is blasting worship music, is making us all sit in the back, won't let Gabby buckle up because there's no middle seatbelt. So I was like, he's going to kill us.
Like that was your
we're gonna die somehow. Gabby's gonna fly out the front windshield when he brakes really hard, or he's gonna shoot us. So we were like, and this was again like either like after that long travel day or really early in the morning. I think it must have been the drive back really early in the morning.
Yeah, to the airport. Oh my gosh.
But then we made it back after
thankfully,
like multiple days and multiple flights and multiple airlines. God bless Alaska Airlines, because they've never done me dirty.
That's what I'm saying. People always complain about Alaska, and I'm like, I've never ever, and I've flown with Alaska so many times.
Delta is pretty reliable, but Delta has done the like thing where it's like they've missed flights, rebooked, whatever. Like issues that way. United doesn't usually like miss their flights or like rebook, but do not trust them with your bags. Do not give them your bags.
Oh my gosh,
because they lost our bags for they left just your bags. One time my bags got lost somehow, and we literally I didn't have that bag for like the next like 5 days with like all of my stuff in it.
That's what happened to me when I went to Hawaii with you guys. But yeah, Alaska's literally never done me dirty. I don't care what anybody says. I love Alaska Airlines.
Alaska, sponsor us.
Sponsor us. But yeah, then Lane made it back, and I was like, bless. And then they made
the car ride back from the airport once we finally got back was dead silent because we were all
so
just
tired.
Like so done.
Do you remember when we sat in the airport for like 9 hours when we were trying to go to Kentucky that one time?
Yeah.
That was horrible.
I hate traveling. I hate traveling so much, which is evil because I literally go to school across the country, so I have to like fly all the time.
Yeah.
Which is my own fault.
I think, yeah, but I think like, okay, I think our way to kind of end this little potty is by talking about what happened to us this weekend. Or like just like our
what we did this weekend. We also have to do media, which we'll talk about.
How do we have time?
We will have time.
Okay.
This can be a slightly longer episode. Okay. Or I don't know. Maybe I'll edit a little bit. But I was also going to say we have to go back to like what happened in Target. Because that is so it was just a very strange little thing that happened. We were walking out of Target after getting like 2 things, and I forgot my wallet. So you paid for me.
I paid.
Oh, I need to give you the money.
Yeah. I was going to say, pay up. Whore. Sorry. Take 2.
But we were walking out of Target, and we start walking towards the doors, and it's like also, it's as the doors are closing, so it's like sometimes it takes them a second to close and then fully open, and then we get to the doors, and they stay closed.
And we like are just sitting there like looking at... And then it was because we had just gone to the movie and we only ate popcorn. We didn't have candy. And so we were just so skinny yesterday that they couldn't just pick up on us.
Yeah, we were like so small, like Bella Hadid size, that it didn't register us.
Like we were literally specks of dust floating in the air and like we couldn't be seen.
We could have blown away.
Because then...
It's a real issue.
Then we had to go out the entrance.
No, but then like we just stood there for a second. We're like, what is
and
happening?
Then people came behind us.
2 other girls walked in front of us walked like towards the doors past us. And I was like, if these doors open for you, I'm going to like lose my mind. I said that out loud to them. I was like, there's no way.
And then they literally didn't. But then somebody after them.
Yeah, then we walked out the entrance of Target, out the doors that are like, you're not supposed to go out this way, and there was a bunch of other people, of course, walking in at that second. They were like looking at us like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, this is not... And then we looked sort of through the glass at the doors that hadn't let us out, and they were letting out another big group, and I was like, so this is targeted violence.
Yeah, during Pride Month.
It
was really hateful, but we were at Target, but before we had gone, this kind of leads into our media, I feel like.
Sort of.
Kind of.
Is Inside Out 2 your media?
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Well, I don't know, but so
we can talk about Inside Out too.
So this weekend, the day that we're filming this, yesterday was Father's Day, and that can be a story for another time. But Father's Day is not my day.
No, basically. It's not.
And so Lane was like, "Do you want to come watch Inside Out with me and the girls?" And I was like, "Yes, I would love to." Don't watch it if you're not in the right state of mind.
No.
Literally,
it's not as good as the first one, and it's not as emotional as the first. It just doesn't feel like as big as the first one, emotional wise. But it definitely has a lot of themes that are like, oh,
like. For example, I don't want to like spoil anything, but like one of the biggest themes in the movie is that like you grow up and you don't have joy in your life anymore. And I was just already having such a bad day yesterday, and I literally it just like
you were quivering and shaking.
It was like they pulled every single single strand of hair out of my head and then lit it on fire. Like, that is exactly how I felt yesterday because I was just so emo.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was...
You started crying so many times.
Oh my gosh. And then I get to Lane's house afterwards, and his mom was like, "Happy sad Father's Day. Bye." That was my last straw.
Instant tears.
Instant.
Also, Hallie was like looking at you and asking,
How did your dad
die? Which, that's just kind of how she doesn't. She's so small that she doesn't like process.
She's
like
just
she doesn't
a child.
understand stuff like that. But it was diabolical.
Because I was already so just oh yeah. But anyway, so we went and saw Inside Out 2 yesterday. I honestly, like what Lane said, I think that Inside Out 2...
I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd.
I honestly would probably give it like 3.5. I think that the first one was just so good that like I don't know how you top that.
I think the big thing for me is that it sort of implied that like anxiety is not something that you just kind of randomly develop once you're a teenager, which is not true.
And it was also, like, she experienced anxiety for, like, 2 days, maybe.
Yeah. I was like, she just needs to, like... there needs to be a part where she takes, like, an anxiety med and anxiety just disintegrates.
Yeah.
Which is not how it works.
Because the way that, like, they handled it in her mind, Joy, like, fixed everything. And I was like, I wish it were that easy. Yeah. I wish that my little Joy up here would just be like, okay, go away, anxiety, and... go on a mission to find my personality again.
To find your personality.
Who I am, deep within.
Okay, so now we're going to do media. Yes, this is stolen. I don't care. Like,
who's it stolen from?
It's stolen from Emergency Intercom with Drew and Enya. But also they stole it from someone else, and I don't even know who they stole it from, and I bet that person stole it from someone else. So I don't even care. It's
unoriginal.
It's not an original idea, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So this is where we sort of briefly talk about like some media that we've been listening to, watching, whatever this week.
I used to do this in my media arts class, and literally I'm really bad at media. And
because you watch the same
I watch
stuff.
The same thing. I listen to Taylor Swift, and literally one time I raised my hand in front of a group of like 300 people in the class, and I said, I watched the Taylor Swift film this weekend. Thank you. Honor if you're watching this.
So I only have 3 things for my media. My first one is Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. That album is so good.
Really?
Like, it hits.
I need to listen to it. I just haven't been in the right mind yet.
It's so good. It doesn't have really like a single miss, and it's a shorter album, which I think is perfect because it just is the right length, and every single song hits, and all the instrumental stuff is so good, and the lyric, like, all of it is just like 5 stars.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I will actually put that on my list of things to do. I can listen to it while I clean.
I have Moonlight Flight by Joe Hisaishi and anything else by Chappell Roan. Literally anything Chappell Roan.
Yeah.
That's my media.
Okay. My only, like, kind of media, and this is, like, weird because, like, you don't listen to country music at all. And
I listen to like girl country.
Yeah, like Kelsey Ballerini.
Like a women that are like gonna kill a man. That's the country music I'll listen to.
Carrie Underwood. Mm-hmm. But so Zach Bryan released a song called Pink Skies. And
you're pink today. Is that why?
No. It's actually one of the most... I actually listened to it on the way here and actually shed a tear because I'm still just feeling the emotions of yesterday. Literally, let me read you the first, like, few... Okay. I'm like, basically explaining this because if you've listened to Pink Skies, you already know what it is, but Lane doesn't listen to Zach Bryan, so... The first lyrics are, the kids are in town for a funeral, so pack the car and dry your eyes. I know they've got plenty of young blood left in them.
When we made the short film.
And plenty of nights under pink skies you taught them to enjoy. And then it's, like, cleaning up the house and, like, whatever. And that is, like, the realest thing. Like, and every time I hear it, it just, like, genuinely makes, like, my heart just, like, stop. Because it's, like, such a... When people are able to just, like, take music and, like, just... It's a very, like, niche song.
When you feel called out by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of people our age, like, have lost a parent, and if they have, like, it's hard sometimes to find people to relate to in terms of that. So, like, sometimes when you just, like, hear that, like, one song that just, like, puts your emotions in, like, a story that's so niche into feelings, like, oh my gosh, that song ruins me.
Yeah.
So, it's a very beautiful song. Shout out Zach Bryan. He makes really emo music, and it's honestly really bad because I like all of it, and it's like, no, I need to stop listening. I need to listen to, like, Chappell Roan and, like...
Yeah, you need to be happy.
I need to be happy.
Hot girl summertime.
I know. I don't need I mean... I do need happiness, actually.
I don't need happiness.
I don't need happiness. But
and
anyways,
on that note...
yeah. I hopefully will digest more media soon. I just haven't been home in
I feel
about
like now
2
that
weeks.
we know we're doing, so that this will be weekly. We're gonna do this every week, unless there's like something that happens that we can't. But like, what?
No, I was just adamantly watching your beautiful eyes. I'm in love with Lane. Lane and I have a signed, what is it called? Contract that if we're not married by the age of 32, we will get married and have kids.
For tax reasons.
And because we would have cute kids. If you're watching on
look
YouTube.
At us, guys.
We already kind of look like siblings.
We look better on Spotify, I think, though.
Probably. I was like, wait, no, I kind of look good today. But yeah, we're gonna try and.
What are we at? Oh my god, we're at almost exactly an hour.
Holy,
What? Did you peek it again?
I just peeked it.
Okay. That was cute. This was fun.
I'm really glad. I just feel like Lane and I can yap forever because we have nothing in common.
Let us know what you thought.
And leave any questions you have for us in the comments down below, because we can also end with like questions or start with them next week. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
We need to like pick it up so that we can be like talking, and then we can be like da 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 da, and then the music sort of is like picking up in the background as we're saying this, and then we look into camera and we're like, bye!